Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if this is your first time on this channel, you are highly welcome. In today's video, I'll be sharing with us how to make this beautiful braided headband. This headband has double bow tie detail at the back, so if you're interested in learning something like this, keep on watching. And if you're not yet subscribed to this family, please hit that subscribe button and let's head straight into this tutorial. In order to make our braided headband, you'll be needing 3 long strips of fabric, and this fabric measures about 3.5 inches by 39 inches. So if you want your headband to be thicker or bigger, you can use more than 3.5 inches. You can make it either 4 inches or 5 inches. It depends on what you want. So these are the pieces that I am going to be using to make the braids. Next, I am going to be introducing the piece of material that I'm going to be using for my bow tie, and right here I have a fabric that is on fold, and from the folded edge we have 10.5 inches, and on this part we also have 10.5 inches. And this is the fabric I'm going to be using for the second bow. We have 7.5 inches by 7.5 inches. So as you can see, I'm just trying to show you that it is on fold. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch around these areas, and I will now be stitching the folded edge. Right here I have this piece of fabric that measures 7 inches by 3 inches. We'll be using it to cover up our bow later on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this my very long strip of fabric that I'll be using for my braids. I'll fold it into 2 like this, and I'll take it to my sewing machine and I'll stitch it down using 1/2 inch. I'll be doing the same thing for all the 3 pieces. Next, I'll also do the same thing for the small strip of fabric that I have here. I'll fold it in and stitch it down using 1/2 inch. I'll also do the same thing for this my fabric for my headband. I'll be stitching it down using 1/2 inch. However, I'll leave a little opening here that I'll use to turn it inside out. So right here, after stitching everything down, this is what I have. These are my long strips, my 3 long strips of fabric for the braiding, and this is my other small piece for covering up my bow tie. And as you can see, I have left a little opening here. Like I said, will be using this opening to turn everything inside out. So what I'm going to do now is use my safety pin and hook it into this my long strip of fabric, and I'll be using it to turn these long strips of fabric inside out. So when you're working with long strips of fabric like this that you want to turn inside out, one of the simplest ways of turning this inside out is using a safety pin. It is a hack that's always worked for me. If there is another method that you know, please let me know in the comment section. So I'll just go ahead and turn everything inside out. As you can see, I'm turning out my fabric for my bow, the square that I made for my bow, and after turning inside out, this is what I have. And right here I'm just going to use a hemming gum to conceal that space, or maybe some invisible stitching. Okay, so I'll go ahead and turn every other thing inside out, and this is what it looks like. These are my long strips of fabric for my braiding. They are all done. So guys, this is the fabric that I'm going to be using. Not fabric, this is my fiber that I'm going to be inserting inside these holes for my braids. Okay, so I'm just going to shred them, and after shredding some of them, I am going to be attaching it into my casing. So here I am going to attach it into my casing and use the help of my pen to push it all the way towards the other end of this my casing. So guys, making this headband is really simple, but this is the most tedious part of doing this stuff because it requires a lot of patience. It's going to take some time. So I'm going to do this for all the 3 pieces for my braiding, and after doing it, I am going to show you what it looks like. And this is what it looks like after attaching my fabric into these casings. So what I'm going to do is I am going to place this on top of each other, and I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and make a stitch down so that it will help secure it in place for my braids. So So right here I have 3 pieces, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start braiding this. Okay, so if you don't know how to make braids, don't worry, it's not that difficult. Myself, I don't know how to make braids, but I had to try, so I need you to just watch carefully and you would understand how I made these braids. Right here guys, I am done making my braids, and this is what I have. It's already looking so pretty. Right now our headband is even ready, even without attaching the bow tie. So right here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using my needle and thread to secure this in place. Okay, if your sewing machine is heavy duty and it can stitch it down, fine, go ahead, but I'm going to be using my needle to secure this in place. Take out some of the fibers. Don't be like me, don't let your fibers be showing at the end, just take some out. And after stitching it down guys, this is what I have. So the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to join this together, okay, like this, and I am going to stitch it down in place. But make sure you test it on your head though, to make sure that it's your size, but in most cases it's going to be your size. Even me with a big head, it sized me. So after stitching it down, I'll show you what it looks like. So after securing everything down with my needle and thread, this is what it looks like, and at this point our braided headband is almost ready. The next thing we're going to do is bring back our square for the bow tie, and what I'm going to do is basically create my bow. And right here is a small piece of fabric that I'm going to be using to cover up my bow, and here this is me creating my bow. Is basically easy like this. Just pick it up in a gabas form, just pick it up randomly, arrange it and use your thread to secure it. Okay, I'm going to be tying this thread around. If you like, you can decide to use your needle and thread to secure it, but I don't like stress, so I'm basically going to tie it all around. So I'm going to be tying it, I'm going to arrange it and basically drag it out to be the way that I want, and I'll tie it and secure my thread, and our headband, our bow tie is basically ready. And next thing I'm going to do is attach it to the braided headband. So guys, I realized that this fabric, this small piece that I have here that I want to use to conceal any raw edges that I may have on my bow tie area and even the braided headband area is too short. It's short. I just realized that it's short and I was too lazy to create a new one. So please don't be lazy like me. So I decided that I will be using it to cover only the bow tie area. So guys, the best thing you can do is actually make your piece longer, and you can always cut off any excesses that you have. So right here, this is me placing it on my headband, and as you can notice, the side with the seam lines are the one facing me, and I'm going to make a stitch. After making a stitch, I'm going to trim out the excesses and I'll turn everything inside out. So after turning everything inside out, you're going to notice that the seam line is concealed inside and even the raw edges is concealed inside, and our bow tie is looking very nice and clean, guys. So this is me adjusting it, and this is what my bow tie looks like. As you can see, it's looking very clean both on the wrong side and on the right side. And the next thing I'm going to do is attach this my bow tie to my braided headband. And this is totally optional. You don't necessarily have to add a bow tie to this if you don't like it. And this is what it looks like after attaching it. It's looking very beautiful already, you guys. The only thing is that there's a little bit of raw edge situation going there at the back of the bow tie because that my strip of fabric was not long enough to cover it, but I don't think it will show when I put it on my head. And this is it, guys, on my head. It's looking very beautiful and it is giving me these rich auntie vibes with my boo dress, and I'm totally in love with the outcome. I only noticed that it is slightly hanging down at the back, and I feel like I need to tack it down a little bit there or use a little bit of interfacing next time when I'm creating this. And this is it, guys. We have come to the end of this tutorial. If you're not yet subscribed to this family, please subscribe. Give this video a like so that more people can get to see it. Drop your questions and suggestions in the comment section, and turn on your post notification bell so that you'll be updated whenever I post new videos. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.